We have some major breaking news as it has been announced that NASCAR, as expected, has filed a motion to dismiss the 2011 and Front Row Motorsports lawsuit against NASCAR. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to the video. As I just said on Sunday, we got some pretty massive and major breaking news as it has been reported that NASCAR, as expected, has filed a motion to dismiss the 2011 and Front Row lawsuit. According to Bob Pockers, NASCAR, as expected, has filed the motion to dismiss 2011 and Front Row lawsuit by saying plaintiff's complaint reflects nothing more than dissatisfaction with business negotiation that didn't go their way. The summary of the NASCAR brief. They say, pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12BB, defendant NASCAR respectfully moves to dismiss the complaints of plaintiffs 2011 and Front Row Motorsports as set forth in the accompanying memorandum. The grounds for the motion as are follows. Most of the plaintiff's claims are time barred by the statute of limitations and lashes because they concern conduct that occurred more than 4 years ago. In particular, plaintiffs alleged pertaining to the 2018 acquisition of ARCA and, of course, other things like ISC and other things like NASCAR's exclusive, among other things. Plaintiffs lack antitrust standing to sustain their challenge to the 2025 charter's release of claims and non-competitive provisions, which as their only claims that arguably fall within the statute of limitations because plaintiffs did not sign the charters and their failure to secure preferred contractual terms and not antitrust injury. 3. Plaintiffs' proposed market definition is legally deficient because it analyzes the market post-investment rather than pre-investment. Under settled law, plaintiffs cannot establish a relevant market by claiming to be locked in a market that is entered knowing in advance they doing as would entail lock-in costs and other economic risks. Number 4, plaintiffs have not alleged any facts demonstrating exclusively contracts by NASCAR for 2 reasons. First, NASCAR did not refuse to of plaintiffs. Rather, NASCAR proposed contractual terms which plaintiffs rejected and which are no longer available. Second, plaintiffs have not pleaded any fact plausibly demonstrating that either of the 2 challenged charter provisions reduce competition. This is absolutely huge. Obviously, we knew NASCAR had been planning to basically go ahead and try to dismiss the lawsuit because NASCAR obviously doesn't want to go and open their books. It's one of the reasons why we have gotten to this point because 2011 and Front Row, of course, do want a preliminary injunction to compete as charter teams, despite the fact they did not sign a charter agreement while the lawsuit is going on. We were expecting that this response was going to come a long way because 2011 in Front Row, obviously, we knew that NASCAR was kind of get a chance here to potentially go out and maybe put out a win perhaps on their side of things. The big question will be, will the teams respond? Well, they have until, I believe, December 12th, which is Thursday, I believe, to go ahead and make a response, which I would have to think that 2011 and Front Row, maybe even before that, because I think they're due by noon on December 12th, if I'm not mistaken, they have to set their release. Obviously, they changed things up to go to the second preliminary injunction because they just announced about 2 weeks ago that Riley Herbst will be joining 2311 Racing full-time in 2025 in the number 35 car. Now, I did see something surrounding Stewart-Haas Racing charters. I think NASCAR is going to deny that because they said they didn't purchase it in the market value, I'm pretty sure. So those charters that they had gotten from Stewart-Haas Racing, 2011 and Front Row, because they were the 2 organizations. Riley Herbst driving one of the cars, and Zane Smith has been rumored to be driving the second car for 2025. Those charter provisions could end up going away, which is really, really unfortunate. Well, obviously, we know what's going on with the charter stuff. The teams are expected to get 50% of the revenue that do compete as charter teams. But we do know as of now that 2311 Racing will run as open teams in 2025. As more information has come out with the lawsuit, I look at both sides of the situation, right? 2311, Dave and Front Row have presented their side of the claims, and you look at it and you're like, yeah, there's definitely some good things they do present for sure. But then NASCAR presents their side of the claims with the lawsuit, and it's like, yeah, they definitely have a case on their end as well. I'm not surprised to see that they're trying to motion to end this lawsuit because, like I said a minute ago, they never want to go ahead and open their books. That's one thing NASCAR has done is they don't want to basically open up their books from funds. We know that the teams have asked 6 of the big members from NASCAR, Steve Phelps, Steve O'Donnell, Lisa France Kennedy. I think Brian France as well got mentioned. I believe Jim France was another person they wanted to open up their books to see what's been going on since the original charter agreement. But NASCAR is basically saying, no, we don't want to go ahead and open those books. Again, we'll have to kind of wait and see what is decided in regards to the other side of things, where you potentially could see 2011 and Front Row respond by basically saying that you're trying to dismiss this lawsuit at this point is absolutely ridiculous. At this point, I'm not exactly sure who is going to win this lawsuit, right? I'm not sure if 2011 and Front Row are somehow going to pull out and win the original lawsuit, or basically NASCAR has a chance to win. I think both sides have generally presented really good arguments and really good cases. One of the goals of this lawsuit is to present more money for the teams, even though they are going to be getting 50% of the revenue. They want as much money as possible, which I think makes a lot of sense. But they also want a little bit more control of the sport, and they also want to change the business model for the better. It's no secret that the current business model that NASCAR has at the moment right now is not sustainable for the long term. And until you change the business model, you're going to see a lot of these teams go away. One of the reasons that Stewart-Haas Racing went originally away in the first place is because of the charters being so expensive, but the charters basically going away. And you look at a lot of teams that were originally part of the charter agreement. Teams like Germain Racing, Furniture Row Racing, they're no longer in the sport right now. Teams like Levine Family Racing, who did have charters, they're no longer in the sport right now. And you've only had a few new teams come in, like Trackhouse Racing in 2011, and Front Row's gotten bigger, and you've had Cog Racing come in, but those teams have replaced the other organizations. We know that Junior Motorsports have been interested at one point in coming in, but because of how expensive the charters are, they're not coming in at this point. So the other big question we have to ask is, let's say the Stewart-Haas Racing charters basically do get denied, which NASCAR is trying to pull at this point. Who gets the charters? There was a rumor, I believe, in a provision at one point that NASCAR was looking to basically bring their own team in. There have been rumors about Action Express Racing, which NASCAR technically owns that team. Jim France owns that team. I'd have to think there's a chance that that organization could find their way in. There was a rumor that was suggested a month or so ago about that, with Dale Hemrick being the driver perhaps, though I don't think that's going to happen at this point. As more information does come out from the lawsuit, we'll discuss it here on the channel, but it's crazy to think this lawsuit has gotten to this point. I think that they're going to, like I said, they're trying to dismiss the lawsuit currently at the moment. Are they going to be able to dismiss it completely? I don't know at this point, but throughout the lawsuit and throughout the last couple of weeks, I feel like that NASCAR has had at least a little bit of an advantage, right? I think they definitely won some of this stuff for sure, and they've had a little bit of an advantage. I think the teams, like I said, 2011 and Front Row, for all the drivers over there, like Bubba Wallace, Tyler Reddick, and Riley Herbst, and then, of course, Noah Gragson, Todd Gillen, every one of those people have presented really good, strong cases and arguments throughout the lawsuit. But I think at the same token, at the same time, it's been really hard for them to win. Again, we'll have to wait for more information as time progresses and goes on. Again, we're probably going to get the response on Thursday, most likely this week. In point, I'm not exactly sure what is fully going to happen. We'll have to kind of wait and see as more information comes out when it comes to the lawsuit, and hopefully they do get to have their teams for 2025. So that is going to be today's special breaking news episode on 2011 and Front Row. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Let's go below that and comment your thoughts below on today's episode. What do you think about NASCAR trying to dismiss the lawsuit? Let me know it in the comments below. Tomorrow on the channel, I'm most likely going to have the RFK Racing preview for 2025, and if there's any major news that breaks tomorrow, we'll discuss it here live on the channel. Wednesday, we're going to have a NASCAR news video, discuss news over the course of the last couple days. We'll talk more about the 2011 and Front Row lawsuit, talk about maybe people like Haley Deegan, Shane Van Gisbergen, Carl Edwards, Kurt Busch, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, and name it, and many of the other people in the industry over the course of the next couple days as we get closer to the start of 2025, and we got a lot of fun content dropping, including the Xfinity Series predictions most likely dropping for 2025 this upcoming weekend. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.